Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I put a lot of leaves in today. We have a lot of stuff going on here. This must be a busy period of time for you. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out. Move it around a bit. We have some, looks like we have some pretty interesting fertility. Well, let's talk about what that means. Fertility, symbolisms. There's fertility, gods, goddesses, phallic, and so on. Doesn't always mean fertility in the sense of copulation or reproducing physically. Fertility can also be, obviously, it could be anything from like farming to creativity, the production of ideas, and just for me, I think of it also often as combining mixtures, composite outcomes, okay? But also just being in a prime position, at a peak, peak viability, any of these things. But again, it's not necessarily what we would think of, physical human fertility. But that could be the case in this one. We'll have to look and see. Okay, so let's start. I want to look at one of these fertility symbols we have here. And this one very much looks like a fertility goddess or mother goddess, a primordial goddess figure. And we have kind of the body here, the arms up, the breasts here, and then the head. Okay. And so I think that this is just definitely has a strong, feminine energy, the blessing of the mother, the blessing of the mother goddess, the blessing of that kind of divine feminine energy, consciousness. It's here in that emotional sector. It's kind of coming down into the physical, and it's reaching up into that spiritual, metaphysical zone. So I think that, I feel like you having a very aligned, balanced, psychic period of time. I believe that there's probably a flood of inspiration going on. I feel that you are probably very moved in a lot of ways. I get the impression, and this is partially because, and I'm going to pull this card out from early in the reading here, the Three of Cups. This is the card of abundance. This is from the Thoth deck here. And as you can see, these are beautiful lotus flowers, kind of pouring out their dewy waters and filling these cups they're overflowing. There's just so much to come by, so much to receive, so much to give. Okay, so this is really a beautiful, indulgent and dewy position to be in. Okay, so I feel that really you're going through life right now, and I feel like it's like when you feel so at ease with all of the sectors of your life that kind of uphold those higher things. So your domestic life, your where your resources are coming from, career, work, hustle, whatever that is. Those are aligned. Your health is doing well. You're feeling good. Your mental health is there. You're feeling connected socially, or however you prefer, whatever your social configuration is. If you are like to be among a lot of people, a couple of people, or, more isolated, solitary, I should say, rather than isolated. Whatever your alignment with that, I feel that you're in your happy place. Okay, so there's a sense of ease, and the divine spirit, synchronicity, all of these things are just really speaking to you. It's coming and going and coming and going very, very easily. Okay. And I want to look at, we have a tree here. It looks like a palm tree or some kind of beautiful tree reaching up to the skies. We also have this beautiful flower. I feel that this is a big sign of blooming, coming into, that place where you're feeling beautiful, attractive, not second guessing yourself, really. I think it's just, you're really feeling yourself, and you're feeling like you can get out there into this dating scene, meeting people, or within your own relationship that is an ongoing thing, maybe a marriage, maybe long term. And I feel that you really are reconnecting, deeply connecting. And I try to be so delicate in these in these readings, because I don't want to be indecent in any way, but I really feel like so much of this, I'm seeing these lush, full, vibrant kind of formations here, the energies, and I'm just gonna say it plainly. I feel that you are very much living out a lot of your desires, your eagerness for love, physical contact, and higher forms of love, spiritual union, connection, agape. All of these things seem like they're really, really full and swollen and beloved right now for you. I'm looking at this, and I want you to kind of come with me in your imagination here. Follow me along this path. And we have an animal, okay, with its head reared up, and a person kind of holding onto it with its mouth held open. So this very much to me is that strength card. And if you need to look that up, go ahead and do that. It is a beautiful, usually portrayed as nude woman with long hair, young, youthful at least, in her young adulthood, holding a lion's mouth open. okay? And this is that kind of activation and while at the same time taming of those animalistic base, you know, again, here's that word, fertile energies, okay? The wisdom of this beautiful goddess figure taming that wild lion, right? Being able to control the flows of energy. And this is almost in my vision in this context, along the lines of something almost tantric, channeling those energies through self to activate the centers of self, the centers of the tree of life, the spheres within the tree of life that you have pinpointed, you have focused on, you have done the work to dwell and activate in the different sectors. And I think that that's all really, it is a flame. Or if you want to envision it as something like the Kundalini, that serpent, you know, twisting up the spine, activating from the base up to the crown chakra, okay? And all along the way, enjoying each of those centers, okay? And I think that, well, let's face it, Pisces, you know, you all are known to be very highly emotional, sophisticated, what's the word? Emotionally sophisticated, but connoisseurs of love, I guess, is a is a good word. You know, highly refined skills within love, courtship, coupling, getting to know people on a deep level, allowing people close to you, more so than most of the other signs, I would say. You know, I think that, you know, one of your superpowers is being able to be vulnerable. Also leaves you open to be hurt, and sometimes that does happen. But with this strength, I really think that you're just in, you know, a very developed place where you've gone through some upsets, you've had some probably failed relationships, dating, whatever it is, but you have worked on knowing what you want and what you expect. You set those boundaries in place. You are open to the new opportunities. And I think that even through some of the pain that you have endured, because you are a loving, sensitive, caring, accepting person, you have become more human than most people. You are more understanding, empathetic, and relate to people in a way that can be difficult for others. But for you, it just comes kind of naturally. But through kind of some of your ordeals, you've been able to really just become an energy that draws people to you. And sometimes that can be hard because you might draw in people who are a little more damaged and, you know, are unable to kind of take care of themselves in ways that they probably need to, just because we have to be able to take care of ourselves on some level to thrive in life, to survive life. But sometimes you draw in people who, are injured, tortured souls, and unfortunately can also take advantage and mistake your love and kindness and vulnerability for weakness. But there is no weakness here. We have that strength, right? We have that beautiful tree. We have the goddess looking over us. And I want to look here too. I see this beautiful, beautiful, and it almost looks like a serpent, almost looks like a dragon, but it looks like in its posture that it's also very conscious, and I wouldn't know exactly what kind of entity it is, but for me it really indicates high knowledge, ancient wisdom. Okay, and I think that this is something that really flows through you through many lifetimes. I think that you probably are somebody who, has been reincarnated through, millennia maybe, and you're an old soul. Okay, and I think that this has a lot to do with why you live your life centered on the pursuit of love. And again, it's not, although there is a lot of the physical, the eros and amorous love, it's not just that. It's this higher love. It's like the chivalry, the troubadour, the Sufi spinning in ecstasy for their love of God and their love of their fellow man and woman, and experiencing others as manifestations of that God source, and being able to find that within other individuals, and dwell in those places through their relationships. Okay, coming together with people in union and finding those hidden temples within others, and exploring those together as you are loving and becoming close and growing into each other. Okay, and I think that you fall into this this kind of beautiful hero's journey for love and living for love, and kind of being a a patriot of love, and that in this day and age, it's not something that you see a lot in people, but when you do, it's very unique and very recognizable. Okay, and I think that's why you so easily connect with others, because you have just that thing that, again, it's rare. And when it's genuine, okay? I think that, I'm looking in here. We have some letters I wanted to look at. And so this tree, let's kind of just cut off that top part, but I wanted to look at the T. There's a large T name in your life, okay? We have a few T's here, so it's reiterated, and whoever the T is, I think that this is somebody you are in love with. And this might... Let's be honest, you might be in love with a few people, or, you have people coming in and out of your life that you maybe fall in love, or at least have a crush, or you have a special kind of feeling for them, right? but this person, I think, is more along the lines of you're in love with them. I do, however, believe that this is going to be an unrealized love. This is going, not unrequited, because I do think that they feel for you as well. But because of the context, the situation, whatever that is, you know what that is. I don't know what that is. But I think that this is going to be a person that you know you're better off loving them from afar, passively loving them, admiring them, beholding them, but never actually initiating or engaging on that level. So this could be somebody at work. This could be somebody you know on the internet. This could be a friend. Okay, but I have the feeling that this is somebody who's not super close, not really always directly in your life, but it's somebody that you encounter. And they know you. It's not, just some random that you see at like the coffee shop every day or anything like that. But this is somebody that you know each other. Okay, and there's a flirtation, and there's, could we, should we, will we, there's been some thought about it, but I don't think that you're going to act on it. Okay. And I think that's going to keep it always in this kind of pristine condition, because, you don't ever, you never have to get to those bad places with this person, or the uncomfortable things, or finding out so much about them that you run into that thing that's just kind of devastating for you, for their personality, whatever it is. Okay. I think it's not ever going to happen. So you're always going to hold this person in this kind of higher regard. Okay. Now, we also have this symbol, and I've been looking at it, and I'm trying to figure out, is this an E? Because it really looks like an E. It looks like a W as well, but I think this has to be an E. And this is somebody who I believe is probably either somebody that you're currently engaged with, and I don't mean engaged like to be married, but somebody that you are spending your time with. You have maybe a physical relationship with them, possibly in a romantic relationship, or it could be somebody from the past that I think it's something that's already happened on some level at some time, because it's so big and it's so filled in. I don't think this is just a longing, but I do see this repeated E. Okay, so I think that this is like an ongoing thing, that maybe it comes and goes. Maybe you break up, maybe you get back together, maybe there is kind of a love affair that has been going on for some years, something, but they're important. Okay, and there's also another, a deep feeling of love and adoration. And, I feel, when I think about this person, and also this E, if you look at it here, it has the heart. Okay. So, I think it's just, I feel almost like a sense of just, like you're weak in the knees when you're with this person, when you really think about them, when you really are focused on them, when they come to mind. But I think that you don't allow yourself to dwell on that all the time, because all good decision making, rational thinking goes out the window. Like, you would drop anything for them. But for whatever reason, it's never, it seems like it's never actually like come to be anything too serious as far as domestically, maybe being married, but maybe not. Maybe you're married briefly and broke up, and you still see each other. I don't know. But it's something complex. A little bit messy, if I'm being honest, okay? And as I'm saying this, I see this little figure here. And it looks like a person kind of running from this other person. This person looks like they may have a dress and long hair. This person looks like they have their clothes and then this little hat. So kind of almost like it's like back and forth. And below this, it looks kind of almost like a little devil. Okay. So I don't think this is like you know, seriously evil or anything like that. But I think that there's a little bit of bad behavior. I think that maybe you are the kind of dynamic where when you come together, you start seeing each other, you both are making bad decisions, impulsive, not following your routine, your responsibilities. You're just really, really, if you've ever seen Parks and Rec, there's that guy, Ron Swanson, in it, and there's a storyline with his ex-wife where she's the librarian, and every time they get back together, they just go completely crazy, and, you know, it's very passionate and physical, but they're all sense of normal lifestyle behavior goes out the window, and it's like, and everybody's always trying to like pull them apart. And I feel like it's almost kind of a situation like this, okay, where you guys just you burn too bright together, and it extinguishes itself very quickly because it's unsustainable. Okay, now I wanted to look at this one because I didn't really. And this one looks like a big bird with a little baby bird. And this one actually almost looks like, and I'm trying to think, what are those little birds that have the thing on their head? The little, I know that there's the peacocks. I almost said quail. And it's funny because my husband and I were driving yesterday, and he saw a bunch of quails on, in a field near the road, and I miss them. But I think these are peacocks. I have to say, I think it's a peacock. So we have a baby peacock, and we have the big mama peacock. Okay. And these are some of my favorite symbols. Of course, I love the goddess Juno. I'm very partial to her, and but even more so, you know, it's this, it fits into the story for me here because I really think that there's this almost sense of being a little bit showy, ostentatious, really focusing on doing yourself up to attract your partners. But not only that, I think that you're just well put together. And I think that probably spans from physical to emotional, the way that you speak. You're, you know, intelligent, well-spoken, maybe have a very interesting way of speaking. You've taken on like a set of jargon that is interesting to people, or an accent. You speak about things that are attractive to your audience. And I think, you know, I think that this is something that if you have a child, or, you know, or just within your family, I think this is a quality that runs through your family to some degree. I think that you all are kind of just almost intimidating maybe, because you're just really well put together and attractive in a variety of ways. Okay. And I'm going to say this would be like an adult child, obviously. So, not to confuse that, but I think that even like your parents, probably you have taken on some of the beauty of the way that your parents moved, maybe the way that your mother spoke, and the way that she walked, and, the grace and charm, and maybe the way that, your father, his interests and ability to speak about things and, tell a story. And so I think that, it's something that, it is developed, and it is very much a nurture thing and an environment thing, but some of it is innate too. I think that it's, something that just, there's some kind of beautiful energy that flows through your bloodline, through your family, and it's unique. It stands out. And I'm not saying it has to be conventional. And that's the thing here. I don't think that you're a very conventional person. I think that it's, especially for wherever you live, I think that you stand out. And that's where that peacock vibe would come from too. I think that you are definitely, a variety in your area. Okay. And that could be for whatever reason, skills, interests, subculture, whatever it is. Your manner of dressing, your etiquette, as I said, the way that you speak, something stands out, okay? And you've used that in your favor. Now, I want to look at this because we're getting long here again. I always say I'm going to do a shorter reading tonight, sweetheart, and then I just end up babbling. Oh, that one just went right off. He did not want to be on there. Okay. Now, I see this as being in a position of being very receptive. And this really relates to something that I was reading earlier about focusing on the affirmations of the world around you, the universe around you. Okay? And what does that mean? It could be as simple as smelling a beautiful rose and, that being an affirmation of nature to you, right? And so I think that for me, what it means is being open to experiencing the beloved in as many things as you can. And it not just in people, okay, not just in animals, not just in conscious, what we perceive to be conscious beings, but in the subtle parts of life, okay, the little things, just the coincidences, the synchronicities, those pleasing senses and sensations and impressions, the moments of nostalgia, the moments of being overwhelmed when something just is so emotional and makes you cry or makes you laugh. Oh, and that's a big one too. The laughing, just laughing, enjoying being, in that humor, in that feeling of, you're going to laugh until you cry. And how often do we get to do that? We should be doing that as much as we can, right? And I think immediately, oh, who has time for that? Well, I think at least a couple times a week we should really put aside, a half an hour or so where we're just enjoying something that makes us laugh and, as we would say when I was a kid, we would chopping it up and, you know, talking BS to each other, or you know, watching comedy or something that you find funny, or whatever it is. You know, I think that humor has to be something that we prioritize. It keeps us sane. It really is important to it alleviates some of the stresses in life, and you know, of course we must be mindful of making light of difficult situations, but I find that in life, you know, some of the people who have been in the worst circumstances, or say they work in just an environment that is almost unbearable or whatever, being able to joke about things, and they call it gallows humor, to make light of some of that stuff, is what helps us get through, and, you know, makes us remember why we're alive, that we're human, you know, that there's more to life than the grind. And so I think that, you know, I feel that you're in a very receptive space, okay? And maybe be receptive to some of that humor, and that, you know, I already know that you're receptive to the love, okay? And let's see. I feel like, you know, with the water down here, there was a situation that had been going on recently. I think that has resolved itself. I think that that's really catapulted you into this place where everything is going well. I don't see any change to that. The only thing that I think is that maybe if you know, if you're in a relationship, I feel like it's just really going to be in that intense zone for this next while. And if you're not in a relationship, or you haven't been seeing one person, I feel like you're going to be coming into a place of not necessarily just monogamy, but a place of focusing on one partner or one person that, you know, you're casually seeing or hooking up with or whatever. And I think that, you know, that's going to be nice. And I don't know how long, but it maybe like the next, you know, 3 weeks or so are going to be pretty intense for that. Okay. Other than that, I don't really see a lot in this part. Okay. I just think that this is a good time for indulging some of that stuff. And hey, listen, it is spring here in the northern hemisphere, so this is that awakening after the long winter. And so it makes sense that these vibes will be going on. We are having all kinds of fertility festivals coming up soon, or, you know, the modern iterations of those. So you are right on time, Pisces. All right. I thank you so much, and I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. I hope that you got something out of this reading, and if you would be so kind as to go and like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm, and that is wonderful. And so if you would also think about subscribing to the channel, hit the little bell, and that will let you know when the next videos come out. I'm on the schedule of doing one about every 12 days. It might be a little off right now because my husband and I are finally being able to have a wedding after COVID and all that stuff. So you know, I'm missing some days here and there. So trying to be on time though. Okay. Other than that, oh, and if once I hit 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to start doing 2 videos a day. So that would put me on a schedule of one, or each sign once a week. Okay. The other thing, oh, if you'd leave a comment, let me know how you're doing. Tell me all about your love. I would love to hear about some good love stories. It's the perfect time of year for that, as we talked about. And yeah, that's where we're at. And I just wanted to mention, if you're interested in a private reading, I've done a couple of those in the last week, and they were I really enjoyed them. So if you are, interested in doing a reading, a private reading with me, there are instructions in the description about how to book that, and we could get that going. All right. Thank you.